Hello, this is Candy with eyes2jesus.blogspot.com bringing you my July planner setup. And yes, I am only in one planner for the month of July, but I'm also in just one planner or one book all year round. I'm kind of a one planner kind of gal. But this is my setup, and everything is in this planner. So I am in the same planner binder that I was in my June setup, and that is this. And this is a Filofax Malden in the personal size in the color fuchsia. And this pretty charm is just a keychain from Walmart, but I really like it. And let's get inside. And I have some things anonymized, so I can go through a little bit more detail on my tour. Alright, so on the inside front cover here, I use it as my wallet, so I have change in here, and I have some spending cash right here, and then I have my cards in the card slots, and I have some of my cards turned around for this video for anonymity. And then in this pocket right here, I have Avery dots, Avery labels, hole reinforcement stickers. And then in this slit pocket, the side pocket down in here, I have some extra filler paper, and then peeking out of the pocket is sticky notes and my washi card. And right now, the first page of my planner is just a sheet of paper. It's kind of beat up and is anonymized because this is something that I'm currently working on that is high priority. So it's right up here on the front until this thing is done. And so the other side is also anonymized because it has more info. My normal front page, dashboard, or welcome page is this. And I have some sticky notes down here. At the top it says INTJ because that is my MBTI personality type. You can look it up, humanmetrics.com, and take the test for yourself. And I'm not just INTJ because I passed that way on humanmetrics.com or 16personalities.com, but also because I have deeply studied the cognitive functions of INTJ, and it's exactly me. Alright, and then I have a Happy Planner pen loop adhered here, and then I have a 4-color pen right here, ballpoint of course. And on the other side of my welcome page is our current family picture. We try to take a new family picture on or around Thanksgiving every year. And then facing that is wedding picture from when my husband and I got married in 1997, and it seems like yesterday. And on the other side of that, I have a journaling card with some scriptures written on it. And the scriptures I currently have written here are Proverbs 31:27, Psalm 37 verse 5, and John 4:24. And then the facing page, which is laminated, is a poem. The author is unknown. It's called Do the Next Thing. And I have a little washi top tab here, because if I grab this tab and flip it over, it brings me to my grocery list. This is my running grocery list, and I keep several sheets of paper here, and I just keep them held together with this Happy Planner magnetic bookmark. So when I run low or out of something, I write it down here. So moving past those several sheets of paper, we get to my first main divider. I have 5 main dividers that I made, homemade, that I made at the very end of last year for my 2019 setup, and I'm still using the same dividers. They are fabulous. So my first divider is labeled home, and it is the divider for my homemaking section. And going inside my homemaking section, my first page is my daily chores, which is almost completely cleaning, but also involves, certain budgeting, bill paying, and things like that as well. But these are my current daily chores. And then on the other side of that page, and then the page facing it, are my children's cleaning chores and my children's table chores. And then after that are my deep cleaning and organization projects. After that is my master grocery list. And I have a little flag that I use as a top tab here, because if I grab this and turn it, it brings me to my menu plan for the week. And I've got a lot of very simple meals for this week because this is probably going to be the busiest week of my summer, at least that I know of. If I get a week that's going to be busier than this week, I'll be quite surprised. So I actually have strategy in the meals that I plan for this week to work around those busy things. And some nights actually include frozen pizzas because that's all I'm going to have time for. All right. And then after that, I have a list of breakfast ideas, and this continues over on the next page. And then I have lunch ideas, breakfast ideas, lunch ideas, and here supper ideas. They also include suggested sides to go with each meal. And when I make my menu plan each week, I reference those pages to help me, and I plan out our breakfasts, lunches, suppers, and sides for each day. All right. And after that, this page is my Thanksgiving menu, and on the other side is my New Year's menu. And then we come to this page, and I have a little side tab here, because this starts into my recipes section. So if I want to go to my recipes, I can just open up to my home divider, and then flip right to this little side tab, and this is my table of contents for my recipes sections. And it doesn't list every recipe, it just lists my sections, and then my recipes are numbered, and then I just turn to whichever section. So here's an example of what my recipe pages look like. And that's for the rest of my homemaking section. So my next section is a divider labeled school, and it's my homeschooling section. I am a mother of 4. My oldest is an adult. My 3 children still at home are going to be beginning with the new school year, homeschooling grades 12, 10, and 8. So my homeschool section right now is fairly defunct. We're finishing up pretty much everything, and we try to take the month of July off, and then I start getting us set up so that we can start the new school year in August. So this was just a note of some things we were finishing up. That is finished up. This was the overview from when we were doing year 11, and the overviews from when we were doing years 9 and 7. And this was our homeschool schedule that we are no longer on because we are on homeschool break. This was our homeschool course of study or curriculum chart that we were on. And this was copy work assignments, and we just go over the list, start over, and keep going over it again. And the list rarely changes year to year. These are some things on there, for example, is list all the states in their capitals, labeling maps, making sure that they know our address, which by now is not a problem. And then most of the copy work are scriptures. And then there's also spelling lists and vocabulary words listed in my copy work list. And then we have reading lists. And then after that there was a projects page, and then the remaining pages were, you could call them lesson plans for each day of the week. And then there's some note paper after that, and that concludes my homeschool section, which is currently just sitting there unused because we're done, we're on break, and I'm getting to that time of year where I need to get the new homeschool materials all coming in, and then make and print out a new homeschool section for my binder. Now my next section is my budget section. Alright, so inside here, right now I have a note page in there. It actually goes with the project page at the beginning of my planner. That's part of the finances for it. And then the next page, which is my normal first page in the budget section, is my budget guide. And that just lists what reoccurring expenses we pay on which check. After that, I just have several sheets of filler paper, no special forms or anything. And I just write the date of the check at the top of the sheet of paper. I then just make a list using my budget guide of reoccurring expenses. I then take a look at my calendar, upcoming things during that check that'll be additional expenses. I just write them all down and I just track them all on note paper. So my husband knows if he wants to know how much we really have in the bank up to date, real time, turn to the budget section of my planner. That's going to be even more up to date than our online banking statement. Alright, so moving to the next section is labeled notes because it is my notebook. And my notebook has subsections in it. The first subsection, the pages are numbered, so I start with a table of contents. And the items in my table of contents and the numbered pages are gift ideas, kids grocery week checklist, stock list, perpetual calendar, family information, codes, and tracking. And then I have a little top tab. If I flip to that, it brings me to my directory, and this is directions on how to get some places, and then it's my phone and address book. Then I have a little side tab there. If I flip to that, it brings me to my brain dump. And if I flip past the pages I've written on for my brain dump, the first blank page, I just have a little magnetic bookmark from Walmart on it. And this marks, okay, this is the first blank page, and then the pages after this are extra filler paper that I can then, move into my grocery section, budget section, wherever I need it. And then when I run out of filler paper in my notes section, I just grab some more from my front side pocket that I showed you earlier. All right, so moving to my last main divider, it's labeled planning, because this is the official planner portion of my planner. And then the first page inside my planning section is a Planner Hints and Helps page by Franklin Covey. And then after that, I have the title page, I guess, for Blooms by Franklin Covey, for their Blooms planner pages in their compact size, and I don't have it filled out. And the reason I have this in here is because the other side is Year at a Glance for 2019 and 2020. And then I have month on 2 pages in here for all of the year 2019, and the month on 2 pages I'm using is Daytimer Garden Path in their portable size, which is the exact same size as Filofax personal size. So, turn to the month of July. Here is July's divider. And I have a few things anonymized, even though I don't think you really see anything on my calendar anyways. But here's my July so far. And then I turn to my Today bookmark, and my daily planning, I am doing Day on 2 pages by Franklin Covey Blooms in their compact size. Franklin Covey compact size is a bit closer or a bit similar to personal wide size, but not as wide as personal wide, but they are wider than personal, and they are wider than Recollections personal size. So you can fit them in here as is. The holes and the rings will line up, but you might have issues with them hitting your pens or tabs sticking out. What I do is each month I just trim them down to personal size and re-punch them and pop them in, because I really, really do love the Franklin Covey Day on 2 pages. Here is my Today bookmark, and this is actually a Daytimer Today bookmark. Here is my page 1 for today of Day on 2 pages, a few things anonymized just in case, my page marker, and then my laminated to-do list. Well, things are kind of different now. We do have that project that I have those extra pages for. We are done homeschooling for the year, so I actually have a piece of paper taped over my laminated to-do list of my current to-do list that we're doing right now for the month of July. And then the other side I'm not really using, it's the other side of my to-do list. And then we got my second page for my Day on 2 pages, just one thing anonymized there just in case. Let me turn several pages over, because I actually have a lot of things already filled out on future pages, so I can show you blank Franklin Covey Compact Blooms Day on 2 pages. So we have over here, this is where you do your tasks or your to-dos. Down here is for tracking. Here is for schedule and or appointments. And then this whole page here is notes. And what I've been using this page here for lately is at the top I'll write down our meals that we have planned for the day, and then a note, anything I need to prep for the next day. I will then write down my cleaning chores for the day, the kids' cleaning chores for the day, and then at the bottom I might break down some of my to-dos into smaller steps over here if some of them are complicated. And then sometimes I also will do a food journal. I do food journals off and on to make sure I'm cognizant of my eating, and then I'll do that on this page as well. All right, and I keep 1 month of Day on 2 pages at a time in here. So yesterday was the end of June. I'm filming this video on July 1st. So last night I just took out my June Day on 2 pages, and that is trimmed and repunched and popped in my July Day on 2 pages. And by the way, that only takes a few minutes to do. Alright, so moving past all my planning pages, I have a Filofax grid paper here, and I can't show you what's on it, but I have it labeled Future Planning 2020 Plus, and I do already have some things on there. After that, I have some top loading pockets, and these are my cash envelopes. And then after that, I have a Franklin Covey page lifter to kind of make sure nothing's curling around the rings. And on the front of the page lifter, I just have extra flags, tabs, and labels. And in the back of the page lifter, some extra strips of washi tape and a little binder clip, because sometimes I need to clip some important pages in here. And then back here in the back side pocket are some papers that I like to keep in my planner, certain receipts I need to keep, and bills that are waiting to be paid. And then we have this top slit here where I have a notepad. This is with my current project, so I had to anonymize it. And then I also have in this slit kind of a plastic card holder that holds the rest of my cards that I don't use very much. And then I also have postage stamps in there. And then in the back for the pen, I don't have this pen in the pen loop. I have it hooked on the pocket because this pen can fit in the pen loop, but it is work, and I like to be able to take my pens in and out quickly. This pen, I'm loving it. I found it at Target. It's a Pentel Energel liquid gel ink. It's got the needle tip that I like on my pens, but because it's got a grippy and it's just a little bit of a wide pen, it's a little bit tricky for me to get into the pen loop. This pen writes like a dream. So yeah, I got a 2-pack of them in purple from Target. I love it. So I was going to get more of my favorite pen, but I saw these and these were cheaper and I love them. So I just have that hooked on the pocket instead of playing around with the pen loop. Alright, so that is my complete planner tour. That is what I am currently in for the month of July. And this baby is a thick, and it's my brain. It is with me everywhere, and I do mean everywhere. And, July tends to be a very, very, very busy month for us, and that is certainly no exception this year. In fact, I think this July is even busier than most of the previous years. And this is my brain, this is my assistant, this is what's helping to keep everything together. And so glad for paper planners and not depending on a phone or electronics. For example, my cell phone died, so I had to get that replaced. I did manage to have almost everything backed up, but I don't keep much info on my cell phone anyways. I just keep it all in my planner. So even though I was able to restore from backup and replace my phone and get that handled within a day of its dying, that was still time when it was down that I didn't have access to information in it. Luckily, that was not a problem because all my information is in here. This doesn't run on batteries, and this isn't going to break and all the data disappear. So I really do think paper planners are awesome. So that concludes my tour. Have a blessed day.